Hello everyone. It's been over a week since our last video, and there's a reason for that. Wilma and I have been pretty sick, and I'm going to do my best to try to go through what happened and try to correlate that to if you're going to visit the Philippines, what things you need to prepare for sure, because inevitable, eventually you will get sick. So I've been trying to do this video for about 3 days now, and just cannot get enough air in my lungs to sit through a video and try to explain to you guys why we haven't been doing videos. It's been about 8 days, I believe, and I started off not feeling well last Sunday. Now, the longtime viewers know that I have pretty bad allergies. Wilma and I are both pretty lucky. We don't take any prescription medicines, no maintenance medicines. I just take Zyrtec, and that's an over-the-counter drug. So luckily, Zyrtec, that works very good for me, is available here in the Philippines. And you can see with the budget video we did, it's pretty cheap. So I take my Zyrtec every day, and usually I'm in good shape. Well, when Wilma and I take the scooter out, and I've said this on many videos, I have to wear one of those surgical masks. I just have to, because it'll really cause my allergies to cause me trouble. So we went out on a Friday and Saturday, 2 days before I actually started feeling ill, and we took our scooter out. And we usually take the scooter out when we know where we're going doesn't have adequate parking. So we take the scooter because it's just so easy to park. So I wore my mask, and we went to those two events. So when I woke up on Sunday, not feeling well, it felt like my typical allergies. My sinuses was bothering me, I was sneezing, I was coughing. Often it gives me a headache, so I woke up with a headache and just said, I just must have breathed in some stale air, fumes, dust, whatever, because I drove the scooter 2 days in a row. So I kind of ignored it, which I guess could be considered a mistake. So I waited to Monday, and then Monday it settled into my lungs, which with my allergies doesn't do. So I knew it was different. And oddly with this illness, and I'm going to call the illness that I had over the last week, it has to be a top 10, because I usually do not get sick. Wilma does not get sick. When we're back in the U.S., again, I have allergies, so I would be allergy sick. But we would go to work years in a row, other than vacations, and not get ill. So when I woke up Monday, I knew it was different. Very bad headache. I was sweating, and it settled into my chest. Couldn't breathe. Just was a bad day. So what I did was, and here's something that's important for everyone to know, you can get prescription medicines here going to the pharmacy. Not all pharmacies, but there's a lot of pharmacies here where you can go and say, I would like to have a course of antibiotics, and they will sell it to you. Some require prescription, some don't. So what Wilma and I have done over the 2 years that we've been here is we always have medicine on hand. We always have amoxicillin. There's a medicine here called Nasatap, which works really well for Wilma and I. It's kind of like a Mucinex back in the US. It suppresses the cough. It's a decongestant. Works very well. Of course, I have my Zyrtec. And there's this other just medicines that you can get over the counter. So Wilma and I always have a supply, because I just can't imagine feeling like I did on Monday, me getting in my truck and going to find a pharmacy to buy the medicine. So the fact that you can get prescription medicines just basically over the counter, believe it or not, you should do so and have a supply at home. Then we look at the expiration date. For example, the amoxicillin, the expiration date was 2026, so it's not like it's old medicine. So I started taking the course of antibiotics, started taking the Nasotap, and of course acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, which is a little more difficult to find here, but I brought a lot with me. So there's another tip. If you're coming from your home country, if you use, say, acetaminophen, which is a Tylenol product, buy a bunch of it. And I think Wilma and I brought, I think, 1,000 count with us. You can buy the big jugs of it, and we always have that here as well. So between those three medicines, I've been battling it all week. I'm much better now. I'm going to say I'm 75, 80% better. And now, unfortunately, Wilma, who was taking care of me about 3 days ago, remember I'm 8 days in, about 3 days ago, she inevitably caught what I had. So she's not going to be on this video, and she's going through the exact same symptoms. Now, Wilma has asthma, so we have to keep an eye on that for sure. But she's also on antibiotics. Now, another thing about Wilma, she does not like medicine. So I had a real hard time, even when she started feeling ill about 5 days ago. She told me I am not taking any medicine. And what she basically did is, I'm going down to the garden and just keeping myself busy. But I told her, I said, what I have is different from a normal cold, from what I can remember, experience. So she let it go a couple of days, and now she is happy to take the antibiotics because she's in bed not feeling well at all. But she'll get through it, just like I did. So she's on the exact same medicine that I took. She's been on it now for over 24 hours. And this morning she said that she's feeling a little better. So she'll be back to normal soon. So guys, we have not done videos. I want to thank you guys for all your emails. You've been sending Building the Philippines text messages, sorry, and as well as some comments, wondering where we're at. I've been doing my best to answer. I would say about the first 4 days, I didn't even pick up my phone, didn't check any messages, just didn't feel well enough to do so. But I am responding back to most of you guys and just letting you know that, we just fell ill. So a lot of our projects around the house is on hold, obviously. The garden is kind of run away with weeds. And during this sickness, we've reached out and tried to get someone to come to the home, which, as you guys know, Wilma and I take care of everything. The cleaning of the house inside, the gardening and all the work on the outside. At our age, we don't need a maid, we don't need a gardener. Now, in the future, we may need some help, but we definitely needed some help here this week, and we reached out, and that was a fiasco. That's a story for another day. So we're still searching for someone to basically clean up the yard, because owning a home, you homeowners know, it's constant work. It's difficult to let things go. You let things go a week or two, it's so much effort to get it back to where you like it. Many of you, as well as Wilma and myself, really enjoy having our house look perfect. Wilma and I go out every morning and we're sweeping up leaves and just keeping the area as clean as possible. That's what we like. We enjoy doing it, and we enjoy the look of a neat and clean house and property. But this little cold has really set us back. Again, I want to thank you guys for all your well wishes. I've been reading some of them to Wilma now that she's not feeling well. And it really does make us feel good that we have people that we have just met or just met through YouTube and got to know you through YouTube. You know, we know your name, you know our name, and the fact that we're getting such nice messages, we appreciate it very, very much. Wanted to do this video just to let you know. I tried to do this video, I think, on Wednesday, set things up, and sweating bullets. You can see I have my vitamin C drink here handy. Just didn't have the lung capacity to do so. And that's just another thing to think about. If you're in your home country, first world country, you hopefully have good medical in your area. And if you have any illnesses, you can just simply go to your primary doctor and, you know, get taken care of. Here, you know, the system is different. The medicines here, some are the same, some are not the same. And then just the whole system is different because it's a developing country. So that's something that you need to consider. Now again, Wilma and I are two healthy people, but if we were not, that'd be something to consider moving here, because one, me myself, I wouldn't know where to go. Obviously you get into a new area, you have to seek out the hospital, seek out a doctor, get established, do all those things. But if someone has not done that, and you get a sickness, you could be definitely in a world of hurt. Now you can always go to the emergency room and things like that. But these are all things that you have to consider before you know, venturing out, even taking a vacation. Because all the times that Wilma and I visited the Philippines in Leyte throughout the years before we decided to retire here, every single time I visited, I got a sinus infection. And I did not know that we didn't have a vehicle. We would just take transportation because we were only here for 3 weeks. We're on vacation. So often we'd be on a trike and I'd be breathing in the fumes of the diesel or the gasoline, or I'd be breathing in the dust or whatever would cause my allergies to you know, become a problem. And then over the course of that 3 weeks, towards the end of the vacation, every time I got sick. And it was usually the last few days. And then coming back to the States, again, every time it was consistent, I was ill on the plane coming back. And then I would typically go to the doctor and they would say that you had a sinus infection. So I figured it out over time, and I went to a doctor in Leyte, I think my 4th trip, as I got a little more familiar with the Philippines, and the doctor said, oh, I see this all the time with foreigners. You have a sinus infection, and it's from either the diesel fumes of traffic and or the dust that you're breathing in. And he was 100% right. And then that's when I said I need to start wearing a mask. And I was wearing a mask in the Philippines when I was on a scooter, basically a hubble or a trike, because we weren't living here at the time. I didn't own a scooter. I was wearing a mask back way before CV, the China virus. I was wearing it back in 2018. I was wearing a mask just because of the allergies that I have. So these are all things you need to think through, plan ahead, make sure you bring plenty of medicine with you, even if it's a vacation. Bring extra in case for whatever reason you get stuck here or you want to extend your vacation. Get established as soon as possible, know where there's doctors, know where the hospital is. These are all things that's very, very important because things can just happen. So we're alive and kicking. We'll get through this. The puppies are doing well. They're actually really starting to grow and wander a little bit more. We really haven't been checking on them. Earlier in the week, I think it was like 3 or 4 days, we didn't even check on them because we both just didn't feel well. With this cold that we have, for me, just to leave this couch and just to walk outside. In fact, one day I was going out to check on the puppies, made it to the gate, stopped, and said, no more, because I just didn't have enough air capacity. I came right back into the house, feeling a little dizzy, and just sat down and just rested. Just going for that short walk was an issue. So the fact that I can sit here and actually have a conversation with you, and I know I'm breathing a little heavy, but I am 80% better than what I was just 3 or 4 days ago. So again, guys, thank you for everything. Thank you for the well wishes. I'm keeping a close eye on Wilma. I am now the chef, cooking with Greg, making sure that she's having her chicken soup every day. We've been getting into avocado shakes. Avocados is in season, so we've been making some avocado shakes. I'm making sure she's taking her medicine because she's very, very stubborn. In fact, I have to actually take it out of the package and hand it to her and hand her some water because she won't take it. She's very stubborn about medicine. But we're doing better, and we'll be back doing our normal videos soon. So guys, thank you very much.